From West Georgia and East Alabama to the SEC, we've got your teams, your stories, your game. We're local. 9 Yards Deep starts right now.
Man, it's so good to have a freaking intro. We know Tony went here last week, but man, that intro is killer, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome back to the show, Tone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Man, we got a lot to unpack. We got a ton to unpack.
I said it last week. It was going to be a crazy week.
We did. We called it out. I mean, we basically gave you the script of what was going to happen on this show today.
We were right.
Yeah, look, we're going to start real quick. I want to give a quick high school shout out to Calvary. It was our game of the week last week, and they went up to Flint River and got them a very, very important win. So shout out to them. Told y'all, man, Manuel Brunson right now is nothing to play with in the private school rankings down here in Columbus, Georgia. So if you Calvary's gonna be the team. I said at the beginning of the year. Hey, right now, I mean, what, it's 4-0 for them now?
Yes, sir.
That's the best start since 2015.
Damn.
I mean, they're on a head-on collision with Brookstone and even Pacelli, if you will. But I'm looking forward to see what them Calvary Knights gonna do.
It's going to be a good game next week.
Yeah, oh yeah, it will be. Yeah, it will be, man. So shout out to Calvary. Want to get that. We had a strong lineup, if you will, of high school games. Of Auburn looked good against Enterprise. Central dominated Dothan, who I thought was, a decent team. It was much improved from years past, but they seem like right now Central and Thompson seem to be on the head-on collision. But that region over here, Region 1, is pretty tough.
Tough one to get through.
They got to finish the region strong. I think they will. So just want to get it out there. A couple of high school shutouts. I don't know if y'all got any shout-outs y'all want to give across the board from the high school perspective from this week.
Auburn got a big win over Enterprise.
Yes.
Enterprise looked, they had that tough game against Dothan, but they're never a team to really mess around with. Didn't hang too many points on them, but Auburn's defense, man, they just play fast.
Yeah,
they looked real good on Friday. They're cracking guys left and right. Shout out to them. Casey Myers is, I think, finally stepping into his own a little bit. The quarterback there getting comfortable with Auburn.
Yep.
And that's a big game. Auburn's got Central in first week of October at the Duck. So that's another game I'm looking for.
Shout out to them Spencer Greenwave, Coach Joe Kigg, and his guys over there.
Oh,
especially
good
CJ
win against
Starr,
Manchester.
Man. Big win. Big defensive player there, and CJ Starr. Be looking forward to what all he does this season. Rest of work there.
They needed that win.
They definitely need that win. That region, man, could get interesting. I know they get a lot of, I want to say, stickers about being a weak region, but that region can come down to a few teams right there. Columbus is undefeated in that region.
Very
And,
much so.
Kendrick's on the right train of power. They got beat by Sumter, but
Sumter County
is pretty good. I think Sumter County's out for blood. I know they got the game against Carver circled on their schedule. So
real soon.
That region could be. Now again, they don't do the top 4 teams anymore. It's all about ranking system. So the more you win, the better you are. You are off. So shout out to them. One last shout out, high school Coach G up there in Troup County. They played on a Saturday.
Goodness, boy, y'all.
Against Mayor Persons, man, and I got a Giant of the Week going up there today.
Oh, yeah.
Garrison Edwards, six touchdowns.
Count the thing.
Their quarterback. I feel like I mentioned him almost every week we do a show.
Yeah.
He's a baseball, football kid. He's got a great arm, but he's a heck of an athlete, too. He scored 6 touchdowns, 3 on the air, 3 on the ground. He's going to be a problem for Troup County, and you got to look out for the Tigers because they got the team right now. If they could keep this going through a gauntlet of a region, they could be a state championship team. And look, we're talking about them in December.
We sound like a broken record, man. We keep telling y'all that region is, Sandy Creek gave LaGrange the business, but, that region is anybody's, right? Any given Friday, if you will, in that region. So, but shout out to Coach G and them Troup County Tigers on a Saturday, which also happened on Saturday. We had a full slate of college football games. And, man, let me tell you.
Hey, man. Just finally glad to say I joined the ranks, bro. I'm just trying to look.
Before we dive into this, before we get all into this, right, real quick, what was your favorite game on Saturday?
Personally, that Georgia Tech Clemson, man, that thing was Hey, ACC is different from the SEC, first and foremost. We talk about atmosphere, just the whole crowd. Before that, they had Flo Rida open up at like a hell of a block party situation. He all up at the game. I was like, well, this is interesting.
That block party was crazy.
I ain't never been to Bobby Dodd, so just the whole atmosphere. And then, man, watching that game, Haynes King, if he not on your Heisman list now, I'm telling y'all need to tune in.
You jump before you start your time.
Hey,
you jump before your time.
Hey,
jump before your time.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. I'm just saying.
Ain't tight, my guy.
Hey, that kid nice.
What you got, Drew?
So I was up in Tuscaloosa covering the Alabama game, but it's been a while since I've been able to like sit down and watch like a college game.
Yeah.
And I was able to sit down and watch the Georgia-Tennessee game.
Yeah.
And that was just such a fun game to watch. I mean, Tennessee had Georgia out.
Yeah.
Georgia lost that game. Tennessee just drills the clock down, basically icing their own kicker. And I get it, you want to get it close as possible, but they just kept moving the ball and just drilling the clock down, so Georgia had no chance, and the Tennessee had no chance. And then that game went to overtime, and there were big plays left and right. Gunner was super impressive. That was the biggest question going into the game was, will he be able to step up and make big throws? And the O-line played great, too. Now the question flips. It's like, all right, what happened in Georgia's defense in that game?
Yeah.
So that was just a super entertaining game to watch. It was a great finish. There was a lot of games that came to the. I mean, Notre Dame A&M's another one.
That's the one I was about to mention.
Yeah, there you go.
Besides, obviously my favorite was the Georgia-Tennessee game, but that Texas A&M Notre Dame game. If you had a chance to watch that game, that was pure ball right there, right? Yeah. Like it's a hard fought. It came out to the end. There had been some controversy of whether A&M should have been called for holding right there at the end when they hit the big tight end. But I mean, what a game! What a game that was. That was the definition of a thriller, right? That could have went either way.
Missing the PAT.
Oh, that man!
Yeah, but this game would have went to overtime.
It would have went to overtime. Sure have. I'm gonna go back to Tony's game. Listen, I don't know what more I need to say. If Georgia Tech is on your schedule, I will say it week in and week out. And I say it out loud. I'm a Georgia guy.
No doubt. It was a great day for Georgia.
But if Tech is on your schedule,
man,
watch out.
I'm gonna tell you now.
I mean,
don't understand.
I posted rank them, and they finally got ranked.
Brent Key. If y'all aren't on that bus already, that man came in intro on the team after the Rambling wreck.
He did.
They're rapping to Future like Jeezy at that. I knew then with the hat to the back, this man ain't come to play today, bro. Brent Key is one of my favorite coaches by far right now. This man comes in and tenacity, the whole team being able to buy behind him, man. You can just tell these guys, hey, Key's our guy. Key's our guy.
And he's having fun with those
100%,
guys, man. And that's one thing. I mean, tell me the last time you seen a Georgia Tech team have fun. I mean, let's be real.
Trying to tell you this.
I mean, they all like they studying for chemistry. Like they look like a real true ball team right now. Like it's fun. Like Tech, it's a new Tech. It's a new school, new day, new program. Brent Key he's got the keys. I mean, it's almost similar to Kirby and what Kirby's doing at Georgia.
That alumni connection coming back.
Yes.
Really,
he is securing the Rambling Tech right now. And if you're not a Brent Key believer, if you don't think that Georgia Tech is any good,
you better believe now.
100%. I'm telling you.
What more needs to happen?
So pretty, man. That's what you love about a team like that is just so pretty.
Just how they were able to get it done, man. We sat there and looked around. I remember there was times Haynes King, going back to him a little bit. That guy literally. Coach said he came to him in the fourth quarter. That's when everything really went down to pandemonium before it all started.
Right.
And he says, Coach, put the ball in my hand and we're going to win this thing. And then just watching you could tell they even said it's kind of like an X Factor move like Madden. They say once Haynes starts limping, that's how you know he's starting to turn it up just another level, like Super Saiyan mode almost.
Yeah.
Like dude comes out there, he sat there ground and pound. He threw for over 200-plus yards, rushed for 100-something, led all other running backs out of Jamal Haynes. And our guy Malachi Hosley, got to see him on several plays.
Yep.
Shout out to that defensive side of the ball. At Clemson, though, they had T.J. Parker. He was trying to get what he could, but, boy, that front line up in Georgia Tech, something different, man. Just what they're playing with. I remember looking at Josh Pate. I saw a clip of his podcast, and he was talking about early on, you started weighing out this top 25. He's like, Illinois is one of those outliers to me. He's like, I don't get that. Meanwhile, you have
still don't get that.
Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech, teams that have proven time and time again they should have been here, but now they're there and people don't know what to do with them.
Listen, and what's ironic about that? I said last year they met up in the bowl game, Birmingham Bowl, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
It's weird.
It's almost like they should be playing in the Sugar Bowl. They should be playing the Orange Bowl, man. That's good ball, man. If you're not watching Vandy, you're not watching Tech right now. But I know we're talking about Tech, man. Tech is just unbelievable. That program has. I don't want to call it a 360. I think they just have woken up, right? I think when you get the right person,
you mean a 180?
Yeah, it might be
360, you'd be in the same spot.
You would be the same spot.
Hey, man, look.
Shout out to my math teacher.
Hey, but real deal. They got 20 seniors coming back, man. You talk about a veteran team, and those guys aren't even phased by, they had an upset. They're like, next game mentality. Temple's up next. Now we just worry about game to game.
Yeah, I mean, it's business-like with those guys,
so.
you know. It's truly business-like, and I like what Tech's doing. I can't speak much more about them. I mean, just be careful. Look out. I mean, if you plan to run,
they'll run you over. Rambling.
I just feel like them days of them losing and getting picked on, and I think those days are gone. I really think that you should really just beware.
Who knew if you just dropped the triple option?
Hey man, mark my words. The ACC run through Georgia Tech.
3:30 up in Knoxville, or should I say Kirbyville? That's 9 straight.
Yep.
But what a game, though.
What a game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Me and Drew talked about this at lunch today. Joey Aguilar, he has my respect.
Oh, yeah.
That kid at one point was getting ready to quit football.
Yeah.
And now, we can talk about the game a little bit. I think there were some plays that was, pure luck. I still think it, but to stand in the pocket to make those plays and to throw it downfield and not be, timid about who's on the other side of the ball, he earned my respect. I think he balled out. Kirby said in the postgame that, it's a shame that, well, not a shame. Tennessee deserved to win, was his exact words. Tennessee deserved. And I think a lot of people probably believe that. Tennessee had the game won.
I believe it.
I ain't gonna lie. I was watching the game in the comfort of my own home. I didn't even watch the field goal. I was over it. When they got that last first down, I didn't see the false start or nothing. I went outside to my trailer and was like, football sucks. Who watches this
Jerem's
stuff?
kicking rocks in his backyard.
My wife,
this is a dumb game. Why do I watch it anyway?
My wife runs out and she's like, they missed it. And then I'm like a kid in the candy store. I'm coming. I'm running back inside, And it's cool to get caught up in those things as fans, right? Fans of the game. I know we work in news and whatever, we cover it. But man, what a fight by Tennessee. I think the conversation is more on Tennessee than it is on Georgia. Now, if you're having a conversation about Georgia, this is what the conversation should be. Gunnar Stockton silenced all doubters.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
We knew that. Mike Bobo wasn't going to open the playbook against Austin Peay. He wasn't going to open the playbook against Marshall, right? I mean, it just wasn't going to happen. We knew that playbook was going to show against Tennessee, and it did. And I think that what I've been saying all along with Georgia and those weapons, Kobe Young, big catches, Branch continues to outrun everybody on the defense. The deep room of running backs, you have 5 running backs that all can run up. McCray, where did he come from?
Shout out Enterprise.
And like he scored a game-winning touchdown in overtime. So and he had some good carries in the game himself. But I'm just saying, like, I think the weapons that Georgia have that has been somewhat hidden amongst the first 10 games. I think now you see that Georgia's for real. I think now it's time. Now they're young on the defensive side of the ball. Teams are going to score points. I feel like that's going to happen, especially with them young corners, right outside of KJ went blank. Bowden. Yep. So I like what Georgia got.
Yeah.
They get a bye this week, and then obviously probably the biggest game on the schedule happens right after that when Alabama comes to town. But I think that now they've seen what they can do. Now they got the playbook really, in my opinion, in full effect. There's going to be a lot to look out for.
Yeah, I think it's more of just the offense being able to believe that they can go out and put up those points. And I think you saw that with the Tennessee game. I think it was the offensive line and Gunnar being able to say, hey, we can score 40.
Yep.
We could score 44 if we need to win. Yep. We can throw the ball if we need to win. Because the running game didn't look that great, if I'm going to be honest with you. Would they run the ball 55 times?
55 times, yeah.
And 160, 170?
But see, the thing is and I don't know if it's to your advantage or not, right? And I'm not a running back coach, right? But I don't know if sharing the ball with that many people hurt you. you don't really get in a rhythm. The only thing you're doing is consistently running the ball.
That's the thing with running backs, though, is you have to get you have so many talented guys, and they have to get into a rhythm to gain chunk yards.
That's my point.
And that's the problem. And I mean, but in that situation, they didn't need to. There was a couple drives they ran the ball and they were running it down their throat. I think in the fourth quarter, right? Yep. That one drive they went 7 minutes.
They come out the third drive, the drive right after halftime. They ran the ball right down the field.
And I mean, you have so many talented running backs; it's tough to disperse that way.
Yep.
But the offense looked great. Gunner gained a lot of my respect. But in that situation, Georgia's defense, they stopped Tennessee sometimes, but Tennessee still hung 41.
Yeah.
They had to throw the ball to win, and that's why the running game was a little bit off. It's hey, we got to go. We got to go quick because we know Tennessee can score in 2 seconds.
I think to Kirby's advantage, along with all those points, I think, if I come out of that Tennessee game with a win, well, I shouldn't have probably won. I won the game, and I know that what I need to work on is my specialty. It's a win for me. And I think that's what Kirby's feeling right now. Oh, I know I got to get better in the secondary. I know our defensive line needs to probably get a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
But if that's the takeaways that I'm having for that as Kirby Smart, it's a win for me. So, yeah, I mean, I thought just like you said, I mean, yeah, the offense didn't look that great, but hey, man, how many times did Georgia have started slow or looked down or looked at everybody thought the game was over with?
Every game last year.
Every single game last year.
It wasn't pretty.
And they still found a way to win.
It's a dub.
Tony, you and I were at Alabama last year.
Boy.
That was the worst start, in my opinion, in Georgia history.
But you saw how it came back, though. Just Ryan Williams happened.
Drew, what I said, if they had 2 more minutes on that clock.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Williams just had to be an athlete.
Carson Beck puts 2 more yards of air under that. That's a touchdown. Colby Young in the end zone.
Georgia, that's one of the greatest comebacks ever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and even losing the game, I mean, still goes back. I mean, people are still talking about it today.
And that's why this game was locked into game of the week before months before the season even opened.
But I think we saw a lot of that same, style, if you will, against Tennessee.
Yeah.
We come out, loud environment, right? It's 102,000, something like that, up in Neyland, and it's just, you kind of can predict, the slow start. If I thought we was gonna have more penalties. We wasn't bad on the penalty side of the ball either. And we're down 2 offensive linemen. Your top 2 offensive linemen didn't even play the second half. So I think there's a lot of positives coming out of Athens today. I think they feel good about themselves. Probably be a recovery week, but obviously that Bama game next week is circle big. So looking forward to that. On the Tennessee side of things, I know Tennessee was down on defense, but I don't think Tennessee should hang their heads. I mean, everything they want still in front of them. I mean, they still get Alabama as well. They get Florida as well, and we know Florida looks obviously awful right now. So
looking at the AP, they didn't even drop. Honestly,
they stayed at 15, which
that
I think is a fair ranking for them. 15 is perfect.
It's respectable.
Yeah,
when you think about it, I mean, that shows the respect of Tennessee.
They got a lot of respect for me in that game.
Yeah,
outside that kicker, I mean, Joey Aguilar. So impressive, and their defense was. But I mean, the offense.
They're injured though. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah,
they did not, and it's something to note for Georgia. Just because you went out and did what you did with Tennessee secondary, Bama secondary is going to look a lot different
100%
in 2 weeks. Especially if they're 100%. Nothing goofy.
It's almost the exact same secondary they faced last year.
Yeah, and the same guy that caught the pick to end the game, he's back. So. But that's a true challenge for Gunner. This is why, this is what we want to see with Gunner. Can he make those plays, those throws in those pockets against, quality, talented defenses? So we're about to see what's going to happen with that. Tony, what's your takeaway from the Georgia-Tennessee game?
I think, man, from what I could see from it, I remember checking it because I was driving back from Tech, and I was looking in, and I was like, okay, it's a close game. There was times where, I wasn't sure exactly which direction it was going to go because everybody was already counting out Georgia early on. But one thing about it, Georgia's been a standard for quite some time now. So, he's the modern-day Saban. You can't ever bet against a Kirby-led team just because some tricky way, something that always is going to happen, something always goes right for the Georgia Bulldogs. And in a game that close, we always know, too, the initial Tennessee score first. That happens almost every game, it seems like, when they play one another. Okay, that means nothing. Then when they get down 21-0, you're like, oh, this game could go either way.
Yeah.
But then just to watch the tenacity of a dog, that's how you know that team has been there before, and they have that presence of they know how to get in these situations and get out of these situations at the same time, and that shows the championship pedigree that Georgia's had for quite some time now.
Yeah, I saw a video of Joe Klatt when he was talking about the SEC still runs through Georgia. I kind of chuckled when I saw him put put that video out. But I mean, when you think about it, though, I mean, it's honestly true.
Right.
Pretty
You
true.
win back-to-back
accurate.
national championships.
Right.
It's still going to run
It's
through.
accurate, and when just like you said, Tony, whenever you think they're out and they're done and they're down, and I go to my trailer because we give them the fourth quarter, for a first down, but them dogs gonna fight.
100%.
And Kirby, just like Brent Key, there's a standard in Athens.
It gives your team a bit more of a battle test too. I think getting through a game like that in like week 3 is great because you get that out of the way where you're like, all right, guys, we had to play 5 quarters of a game or 4 and like a couple drives. Like these guys have played a full because they didn't play whole games. Against Marshall and Austin Peay. So now your guys, because they were rotating God knows how many freshmen the past 2 weeks. It was a lot. I think like 20 freshmen played in the first 2 games. But now you get your starters battled in a full slate, and they're ready to do that against Alabama again.
That's a hell of a way to open up conference play because you talk about one of the most premier venues in the SEC, and to go in there and get that win early on just shows what type of team you're dealing with when it comes to the Georgia Bulldogs all season long.
Well, A&M and Notre Dame, which was the nightcap. I don't really have much to say, man. That was just good ball. You like good football. You've been watching good football all day. You almost expected that game to be anything less than good. But the biggest thing I can say for A&M winning that game, when I say that helps their resume out.
Oh yeah,
helps so much.
Because that's one thing. If y'all remember last year, and it was a lot of teams like that, South Carolina in particular, but where they had to find an argument to get them in. And there was games that was lost that pretty much kept them out. Right. Notre Dame was a game last year where A&M got, in my opinion, destroyed, right? And it was at Cal Field. So to go and get that win on the road, and, obviously you can say what you want to say about Notre Dame. They're 0-2, and I
still ranked.
That's what's bothering me right now. I'm looking at this.
Still ranked.
It's 24. It's bothering the heck out of me. Because how are they 0-2 and still there?
I think that's like one of the first times ever we're going into week 4, and there's a team without a win.
The team above and the team below are 3-0, and they're sitting at 0-2.
I don't know how I feel about that's just. I tell y'all, man. I don't know if. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say I should be the guy ranking teams, but God, dog, it seems like the job it's really easy at this point. Yeah. It's almost like coaching. Hey, suck and win millions of dollars. It's just.
Congrats.
The only argument I'm getting
I want your job.
They're the runners up for the national championship, so they feel like they got to keep them in the conversation. But
why didn't Ohio State start at 1?
I agree. Now you see they back at 1, and then you sit here. BYU is waiting on the outskirts. You got South Florida and South Carolina still creeping in for votes. So,
I think the argument really comes down to how close, because they've only played 2 games, and I mean that Miami game was not as close. It was close, but it wasn't as close as the A&M game.
Yes.
Like if Tyler Buckner secures that snap, that game goes into overtime, and who knows who wins.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, and it's not that I'm trying to just sit on Notre Dame or whatever.
Shout out to Marcus Freeman and his guy.
I just don't.
They beat Georgia last year.
It's almost clickbait at this point.
Let's
go get a win somewhere, and they got a couple of games on their schedule that's coming up that, I think they go to Arkansas and then they get Southern Cal at some point. So I don't know.
Wins?
You can't just. That's up to the game to
I feel like
decide.
they're hanging them.
But,
they're keeping them around for a reason, though. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's like, they can win out their whole schedule, and then
And they can, and they truly can win out, And if they do, kudos to them. But I don't know. I think dropping to 24, I think is kind of also in the same token a slap in the face too. You go from starting out the year 3.
Yeah, they're basically telling you, hey, you're supposed to be good, but you're not.
So sit behind all these other teams who've been waiting to play you. But it was a good win for A&M. It was good to see Marcel Reed. I mean, that game was fought, man. I did think they was holding on that last. If I can be honest, that last touchdown pass. I think that lineman, when you tackle a defender, and I'm teaching my son now because he's in Little League. So it's the same conversations I'm having with him. But you can't tackle the defender as an offensive guy. It's holding every day of the week. So, but hey, refs don't, they don't play for the whole 4 quarters. I mean, they do referee. You still got to find ways to overcome that. And I think Marcus Freeman said the same thing. He was talking about his holder for doing the field goal because everybody was trying to place blame on him when the missed extra point. So, I mean, there's a lot of different factors in the game. But at the end of the day, if you don't do what you're supposed to do for 60 minutes, you're not going to win the game.
Yeah.
And that's just what it boils down to. A&M wanted it 1 more point more than Notre Dame did. And that's what it boiled down to. But such a great game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Such a great game. All right. Now, I'm going to go down here to the Bayou.
Go down by you.
And
Call Baton Rouge.
I wish I had the audio to play on here. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start playing audio on here because I want to play the audio.
The game audio of every pick?
Brian.
Or the Brian
I'm
Kelly.
talking about Brian Kelly is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Please come front and center, Mr. Brian Kelly, Coach Kelly. I did not like him going. He apologized, but I did not like the fact that he went off on that reporter for asking a very valid question. We work in media. We're always going to side with the media, right? Mostly. What was wrong with the question that the guy asked?
That's like one of the most basic questions that a head coach got asked after a game.
Coach, what is your evaluation of how your team just played?
The offense.
The offense?
Yeah.
Okay, Coach, you don't like that question. Y'all struggled to run the ball. What's your thoughts on that?
Points out the one long run they had.
He points out the last play of the freaking game. Well, the Florida defense was tired and gashed because, lo and behold, their quarterback obviously don't know what color jerseys that they have.
Boy.
And he literally catches the attitude. Now, again, he came back, y'all, and he did apologize. He said he texted with the reporter, and he get caught up in the moment emotions. But Brian Kelly, you cannot get caught up in the moments and those emotions. The questions are very simple, and if you just choose not to answer, don't answer.
Yeah,
that's what it boils down to. He didn't call you out. He didn't really say anything negative. He asked for your perspective.
Yeah,
that's not hard, coaches. And I'm talking to coaches now. I'm just going to get real with you. I'm talking to coaches. It's not hard to ask for your perspective. It's no different from you doing an interview at halftime when you're down. It's the same type questions. You're able to answer those questions. Now, you may not have all the answers, but hey, we got to go back and review the tape and we'll evaluate, how we look. I tell you like this, man. We started off the year high on LSU. They are on my fraud list at the moment.
They've been escaping by.
That Clemson game makes it all.
Oh,
they've been escaping by.
Oh man, game of the year.
Now we talk about Clemson being fraud, but boy, LSU
and Nesmeyer, game of the year. Oh my God,
man,
how's it look now?
Boy, I tell you what, dude, watching Klubnik up close and personal, kid just couldn't. I couldn't even tell you where to begin. Like he just was. Plays were not clicking.
I'll just tell you right now, it's the play calling and it's the offensive line.
Not clicking.
It's very simple.
Very much so.
But hey, Georgia Tech defensive front is for real.
Oh yeah,
been saying that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Them boys.
LSU's defensive front is for real. Troy's defensive front is for real.
Man, they lost against Memphis.
I'm obviously being funny, guys. Like, I just think that the hype that was surrounded amongst LSU is slowly going out the window. Yeah. And I mean, y'all tell me, 20 points when you're gifted 5 interceptions? Now,
shout out to your defense.
I do think that Florida's defense has something to say.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think that
when you
in the winner of that game is Florida's defense.
When
right?
you're dealing with that, where like you're just being dealt bad hands constantly of like, all right, like we're in our own zone, like again, and they're holding an offense that's supposed to be top 5 in the country
with a Heisman.
With a Heisman contender kind of quarterback. Yep. They're playing their game, and that's where I give a lot of credit to Florida. Was like those dudes fought.
Yeah,
they fought in that game.
Yeah, they did.
Their quarterback didn't do them any help, but they fought in that game at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't. I try not to bash guys. I don't want it to be the one to bash guys, but
it's still early on in the season.
I just think that I don't know. Napier don't have it easy this week.
Is he on the hot seat?
It's not easy.
Is he on the hot seat?
Is that seat hot?
I don't think the seat's there anymore.
You don't think so? Think this is last year?
I don't think the seat is there. How could the seat be there?
It's over.
I think that it's gonna come down to. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know. I don't see them winning this week. But Florida's just one of them teams where, again, last year they struggled early, then they go into Georgia. And shoot, for all of 8 minutes, I'm thinking like, all right, this game is gonna get crazy. Lagway gets hurt, then Georgia obviously wins game. I don't know. I just don't see. I don't see a lot of positive stuff coming out of Gainesville. I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
It's not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be.
Especially with that schedule.
Yeah, I think that looking at it, yeah, you're not going to win the state of Florida. You already you already lost to South Florida, so now you're going to get Miami. It's probably going to be a loss. You're not going to beat your rivals. They're riding juice right now.
Boy.
I mean, y'all tell me.
FSU looking real nice this season.
All
Carson Beck though, hey, is he thriving more in Miami than he was at Georgia?
We're gonna come back to that. We're gonna take a little break right here, and we're gonna come right back to how we feel about Carson Beck, guys. So just hold your thoughts. We'll be right back. The fact that we have music now on our podcast means that we have made it, guys. Shout out to us.
Shout out to the GOAT, Rico Mitchell.
There's no one better. Hell, that beat was made by one of our own, Rico Mitchell.
Thank you, Uncle Reek.
Appreciate you, Reek.
All right, so back to the question at hand. You said Miami.
Miami, bro.
Miami. Carson Beck in Miami, okay?
I'm going to move my mic up.
Now, we talk about the Beck if Hurricane Beck compared to Georgia Bulldog Beck.
You feel like you've seen enough?
I don't, but I just like what I'm seeing so far. He having a little bit more fun than he had last season.
Hello, when you on a
when
national
you're not in the pro
team,
style.
Well, hold on. First of all, when your program is not as a caliber as a Georgia team, of course you're going to have fun.
I believe it. I've also saw him get some muds out.
Did you see them Nick Saban teams having fun? No, you didn't. And none of the Kirby's teams you saw having fun until they played TCU and was eating chicken wings on the sideline during the championship game.
Man, we were there for that one. That was a crazy one, too.
It's crazy. But I'm just saying, like, and again, that's not, I talk about Carson. I think that he's found the right home. Let's put it that way.
I like that.
Sometimes you feel better when you're a little more comfortable. He seems like he's more comfortable at Miami. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think he's just more comfortable because he's in an offense that he's not in pro style. He can step back in a shotgun and he can sling it 40, 50 times a game against ACC opponents.
Well, there you go.
That's why I included that on the last part.
100%.
That last part is what I was going to say.
Watching that Georgia Tech game,
the Atlantic Coast Conference.
You can tell the ACC and the SEC are two different domains. And I mean that in good ways and bad ways. Just because, like, the ACC tempo is not as fine-tuned or as serious as you think it would be at times compared to SEC. It's nitty-gritty, get it out the mud. The ground and pound works for the ACC, and they even throw in some long plays. But I'm going to tell you now, being an SEC domain type of guy, I've been there quite often, the atmosphere by far is different. Even how the fans get into it. They swag surf now. I ain't gonna lie. That Georgia Tech swag surf, y'all know how to do something up there. Y'all kind of looking like Auburn a little bit, but at the same time, they do it just a little bit better. I guess the downtown Atlanta, he kind of rubs off on them a little bit.
Tony.
I said what I said.
Tony.
I said what I said.
I can hang 400 yards and just Bethune-Cookman, man.
Come on now. No. How you gonna do the HBCUs like that, huh? There's some good ones out there.
I like Bethune. Shout out to their band. They got one of the best bands in the country.
100%.
But I'm just saying, Carson's not playing. The level of the competition is not the same.
Yeah. You're not playing Tennessee or Alabama. Like,
you're gonna look better.
Congrats, 340 or 430 kick against USF on the CW.
Hey.
Yeah.
Shout out to the dub.
Shout out.
But I'm being honest though, guys.
But no,
like
for
you're gonna look comfortable, especially when you're winning. Like you're gonna have success. Carson Beck is not a bad. Nobody once said Carson Beck was a bad quarterback. I think that he was put on the team last year. They had some receivers that just flat out could not catch balls. That sucks for a quarterback. That kills your momentum. That kills your drive. Right. He started the season off as a Heisman contender. You know, and like a lot of times, whether people want to believe it or not, and this is one thing I have with giving out the Heisman Trophy to quarterbacks. I think quarterbacks get a lot of, pressure put on them, how I'm a Heisman contender quarterback, but I got to rely on you to catch a ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
One bad game screws up your Heisman hope.
And that's what I think happened to Carson. So now you go to a team. Again, you're a Heisman contender quarterback. You supposed to. To me, he's doing everything he's supposed to do.
Right.
So like it's just another day with Carson Beck. I think that he's going to have his time to shine. They got to play Florida State, in the ACC.
Tommy Castellanos.
Hey, at some point, they find ways to, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And again, and if you want to be honest, the same 0-2 team we were just talking about at 24 really gave them a run for their money.
Yeah, they did. This time last, yeah.
And there's nothing to say that the game that they got Saturday, even though it's Bill Napier and Lagway, but there's nothing to say that it's clicks.
Florida's got a legit defense. Look what they did to LSU.
Florida's there you go. And I think that Saturday. And what's crazy about it, Carson's seen that defense.
Yeah.
Carson has seen that defense that's coming there Saturday. So I think time will tell with Carson, right? This is not the shoot Carson Beck down show. No. I think time will tell with Carson.
Yep.
It will. It will tell. We'll see. That's pretty much all I got to say about that.
It's still a lot of undefeated.
I think it's a good game, though. I do think Miami and Florida this Saturday is a good game. Yeah. It's not my favorite game. My favorite game is obviously
Florida's just like, hey, can we cut out the game of the week stuff and college game day stuff?
Yeah,
let's cut this out.
I still hate that game they didn't go to Norman.
Exactly.
That to me is the game of the week.
The return of Jackson Arnold.
That's to me.
That's gonna be a better game. It's gonna be a better game to watch.
That has potential to be the best game so far this year, and there's been a ton of good games.
Number 22 and number 11.
When you got Jackson Arnold going back home,
and he's balling out right now.
The storylines are there. I mean, like
homecoming.
Yeah. OU's one of the hottest teams in college football right now.
They say John Mateer is like that Heisman guy.
He's Jackson Arnold 2.0.
Yeah, no, they say he's nice as all get over. Right
he's Jackson Arnold 2.0. I think that game right there is going to be on point. I'm sorry. I think game day. I'm not saying they got it wrong.
I would,
but
they missed.
I think how do you overlook Auburn, Oklahoma?
People still aren't bought into Auburn just yet, and that's okay. That's okay.
I like Auburn for the first. I like Auburn for the first 2 weeks. I don't think I like Auburn against South Alabama.
Yeah,
I think that game was a lot closer than the score led. It was so weird.
It was a big possession game, and that's why box scores can be deceiving. It's like there were
South
3 possessions.
Field goals. Yeah, still was down by 2 touchdowns. I'm like, huh?
Like Auburn went into the half, 28 points.
Yeah,
they finished the game with 31.
Yeah, it was 31-15.
Yeah, they had the ball 2 times in the second half.
I don't know. I still don't know about.
And they got pretty banged up against South Alabama.
But
the amount of guys got hurt.
But hey, again, in a given Saturday, here's the next Saturday. You go to Oklahoma. We're gonna find out.
You want your test?
They got it.
You make some noise early.
Go to
how do we feel about that while we on that subject? Do we Auburn gets the win? Oklahoma gets the win? Who gets the win? Oklahoma right now has the better resume. Who gets the win?
Auburn 6.5-point dogs.
You know how I feel about it. I'm gonna tell you now.
Is this another situation where Bama rolls into Oklahoma and they get stomped?
Ooh.
It could be. It almost has that feeling.
Let's go back to last year though. Auburn had Oklahoma's number, and I mean that was before the whole Jackson Arnold debacle. Now it's you get a better quarterback, quote unquote, better players across the board.
I do agree with you, but you replaced the quarterback that really gave you fits in the game with the same person.
It's true, but then
and more weapons.
The slightest bit that Jackson knows this defense already.
Well, Jackson didn't even play in that game.
He did not play in that game.
Yeah, it was Michael Van Buren.
Right.
So when you think about it out loud, though, it's just like I don't know. Like I think practice for Auburn this week needs to be real intense.
100%.
Ones versus ones. I think that's gonna. I don't know they do that, but that's got to be the best preparation.
This game can really change the whole trajectory of your season.
It's your first road test, and if you can catch that win early, you set yourself up for a top 10 run deep into the season. I mean, there's still some dogs you got to go through, but
because you got A&M next week,
right,
and then 2 weeks after that, you're home at Georgia.
Home
with Georgia.
At Kyle Fields, crazy.
A&M, yeah.
And Boomer Sooner's rolling right now.
I don't know.
They have a great offense. John Mateer's Heisman contender, but OU's defense only let up 1 touchdown in 3 weeks. In Michigan, their offense is a little weird. They had a freshman quarterback, and they're doing those things. But Auburn hasn't played a defense like that yet. Baylor's defense was awful.
No, it was awful.
And now they got a game against them.
I'm telling you right now, I like Oklahoma with the points. I do. I like 6 with Oklahoma.
I think, honestly, I think OU wins, but I think Auburn keeps it close enough where they walk out of it and saying, like, hey, we got something here. We can move forward with this.
I think for me, and Tony, you probably can attest to this a little more, if they do lose, I'm ready to see the response that Auburn's going to have.
Very much so.
I think they have not yet. Last year they were down. The season just felt like it was just
like they're kicking a can down the street.
A funeral, like literally. And it's just, I don't know. I don't think that Auburn, if they do end up losing the game, it's not predicting, right? If they do end up losing the game, I don't think it's enough. That should be enough for them to hold their head down and say, oh, Auburn's back to being Auburn. Go get a win at Calfield, you know.
Because it's got to be respectable if you're going to lose. Like we fought to the end. Like we got something here. We can just keep building off this, and we do it next week against A&M.
At the end of the day, your schedule don't get easier
at all. Because then you open up that conference.
Just like you said, Calfield. You go to Calfield, and you come. You at home graciously, but you're at home against Georgia.
Mm-hmm. You got to go to Vandy,
which I'm telling you,
don't count the boys out.
Should we talk about it? Should we talk about it? SC Vandy.
Hey, listen, I think that was my biggest upset, honestly. And I know people are like upset. No, it was an upset. I mean, it was sad to see Sellers get the head injury. He's out the game. We don't know if he's playing this week at Missouri. But that's a big loss to Carolina. I think people didn't understand how much. I said it week 1 against Virginia Tech when they played. I said, hey, he was at the time my Heisman favorite just by nature of what he brings to the field, the atmosphere. He is that South Carolina's offense. Yeah. And I think it showed, obviously, against Vandy at home. But shout out to Vandy, though, man. They're ranked, too.
They got a big jump. That's a big jump.
They said this is the first time between them and Tech since, 1980, 1884 or something like that.
It may be in something like that. I don't know. You're the nerds. But, hey, I'm telling you, I'm not saying I'm a Vandy fan. I just like football when Vandy's good.
Oh, yeah.
Let's put it that way.
And that's a very rare occasion.
They got Georgia State.
That's very few.
Hey, you're right. The team they lost to last year.
Shout out to them again, though.
TJ Finley's there now.
My man got a gauntlet of teams he been on. That's crazy.
He has a resume on him for sure. But shout out to Vandy. They get Georgia State at home this week. Hopefully they can come out with the dub.
That's a lot of questions, though. A lot of questions.
You got Georgia and Bama on byes next week.
Yep.
So
to be expected.
I think that's good. That's just cranking up for a showdown that's coming up, man. Outside of that, that's all we really got. I mean, like we said, we was gonna get rolling, and we are rolling.
We're back.
We got another banger this week with Auburn, Oklahoma. I'm looking forward to that. I'm ready to talk about that and get that going. Hey, Tony, go ahead and give us the rundown for Friday with Sports Overtime.
Man, let's talk about it. Week 5 coming in. Game of the week by far will be undefeated Columbus Blue Devils taking on the Carver Tigers, the GHSA 2A reigning champs. We know that's going to be a game to the fullest. We also got a lot of other games. Lafayette hosting Lynette. Then we have Lee Scott Academy taking on Randolph County, some big-time undefeated teams there. And, of course, you can't forget our guys on the road, the Central Red Devils taking on Enterprise Wildcats. And Auburn at Jag, man. A lot of good games there. Myself and, of course, Sports Leader 9's Drew Provine. We'll be coming at you live 11:15, 10:15 Central. Be sure to tune in for all that and then some.
What a time to be alive.
Yes, sir.
Always.
We talking ball, guys. Anytime we get a top ball, it's good.
Always good day.
We'll catch y'all on the next one.